Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
And that's Dancing Pete Rhoda from Complementary Horsemanship. Louisa Barton here in the CEP Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital of the world. We've got a great show lineup. We have a full studio. We have studio audience cheering and clapping here. We're starting off with Dr. Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care in the segment after the news. We're going to have Jodie Moore with us talking competitive trail riding, and we're going to see some of her
Equine artist
yes,
stuff.
I'm wearing one of her hats. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. We've got Dr. Nathalie Solomon with us from EquiGreene. She is the Greene Pharmacist, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about the benefits of CBD for you, your horse, your dog, your cat, you name it. We have Sean McCarthy with us also from McCarthy Equine Dentistry, and we'll be chatting to him a little bit about horses' teeth. So it's a great lineup.
Looking forward.
So, for the last few weeks, we've been talking about Vocal, which is Voices of Change Animal League, and how much we love them. I have a dog from Vocal, and they had their annual event last Friday. We were a media sponsor. There we are, up on the screen. Love that. And we did a lot of shout outs for them, interviewed, and had Lauren on the show with us. They did a phenomenal job. I was not there for very long. Came in late and left before all the fun started, but very blessed to sit. That is Pat Myers, by the way, bidding on live auction items from Pat Myers Electric. And I'm going to say, having the honor to sit at the table with Pat and Sarah Myers and their group, even for a short period of time, was amazing. And to see them so energetic and excited about helping Vocal and the wonderful cause that Vocal is. And when I left, they had raised $185,000 for Vocal from this event. So
it's over 200,000.
Really,
I believe,
hats off, literally. And that is Dancing Pete Rhoda, and I think we have a little video, possibly.
Oh boy.
We don't have a video. Oh darn it! I thought we had a video. We did have a video. I'll find it by the last segment of the show of him dancing. And there's Jenna Rivera from MTRA who was there with us, and it was just a phenomenal, well done event, and for such a good cause. So.
And you asked me to bring my name tag that can say anything you want, but it says Dancing Pete. I walked around with that. And my tie that lights up at different colors and flashes or whatever I want.
Yes.
Because we were invited by Pat Myers Electric.
That's right.
Pat's got an electric tie, but mine does a lot more than his does.
So we were shocking.
Shocking, yes. That's good. But we want to thank Pat Myers Electric for inviting us and having such a good time. And
it was great, and for such a good cause.
And we got to dance. That was the best part of it.
Well, you did.
Well, I did.
And Lucy, my wonderful dog, came from Vocal, and she is absolutely phenomenal. She's a wonderful dog. And so if you need a barn companion for your horse or a forever dog for your home, definitely the place you need to go and get one, because there's lots that need homes.
That's right.
That would be wonderful. Neil texted me today from Ocala Dog Ranch to mention that on Saturday, March 9th and Sunday, March 10th, there is some fun going on. There's a spring trifecta dock diving.
Jumping off a dock,
Yes.
not a duck.
Yes. What else do we have, Pete? Tell us about this amazing event on March 9th and 10th. What are you doing? Are you trying to read?
Up, dog. You pick disc games.
Disc games.
What is that?
And barn hunts.
Well, I know what the barn hunt is, but what's
Well, it's a disc game.
What's a disc game?
You both throw a disc.
Oh, a frisbee.
Up dog. You should know about frisbees.
I know frisbees, but I had never heard it called a disc.
Ocala Dog Ranch is a partner of ours, and they are absolutely wonderful organization, do dog boarding, and they do training, and they do all these wonderful dog events, and the dock diving is absolutely amazing. And Sunday they're going to have that too, and they're going to have dock diving finals on Sunday, which is the 10th. So make sure you check it out. Space is limited, so sign up at ocaladogranch.com. And you can have a lot of fun in the spring trifecta.
Barn hunt. That's finding the rats in the
Yes, and no rats get hurt in that, by the way. We like to mention that. And there you go. Beginner classes are actually full for March 5th for the barn hunt classes, but there was some room left still in the advanced classes for the barn hunt for your dog that start on Wednesday, March 6th.
And we need to ask Neil, if your dog hunts and gets mice in the barn, is he an advanced dog then? Yeah. So you don't need to go to the beginner if he already knows how to find them.
Neil, it's time for you to be back on the show.
There you go.
We have some other great events that we want to mention. Women's Warrior Weekend, equine therapy, mounted shooting, trail rides, camping, and bonfires, all female retreat.
March 1st through the 3rd.
Yep. And so check that out, Women's Warrior Weekend.
And then our favorite.
Yes.
Run.
Ride.
Roll.
Relay.
Woohoo! March 25th, 3rd.
March 23rd, and that is at Shangri-La Campground. And that takes 3 people, unless you're really brave, like Jodie Moore, who's going to be on the show. She would be really brave. She would be the brave type to do all 3. But the ride, I can never do it, can I? Run, ride, roll, relay. 3 people, 1 runs. That would not be me. 1 rides their horse.
And 1 rolls on a bicycle.
On a bicycle. And they do a relay, and it is $75 per person. And this all goes to benefit the Greenway equestrians, to keep the Greenway Trails beautiful for us all to really enjoy. You can camp, and it's a lot of fun. And of course, you want to be the winner. So you need to make sure you have really good people on your team. And if you're really brave, somebody last year did do all 3.
3, yes.
Very, very brave people, though. So that's March 23rd, and that is at the Shangri-La Trailhead. So we love to support the Greenway Trails.
Our next event,
yes,
May 12th, the Equifirst Aid, to me is a valuable clinic.
It really is. Because you are your horse's first responder.
Yeah, that's my favorite saying for this.
Yes, I love it. $99 covers you for May 12th. That is at Midnight Rose Equestrian Centre in Citra from 10 to 2 p.m. And really, even if you know all this, it's a great refresher. If you don't know it and you have a horse, you need it. Right. Because you need to know how to detect a colic. You need to know how to get vital signs. You need to know how to bandage a injury. You need to know all of these things. So if you don't know them, or if you want a refresher, this is a great way to get it all in a very short period of time from some experts. So check that out at Midnight Rose Equestrian Centre. We are going to wrap it up, but it's okay because we have another segment at the end that we can cover anything that we missed. But we want you to know about these events because they're important to us in the horse world. We love to look out for our 501c3s, our Greenway Trails, and we want to keep you and your horse as safe as possible.
So stay with us, and we'll be right back
with Dr. Adam Cayot and some donkeys.
This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. Horsemen, are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? Lip Chip, built by horsemen Four Horsemen is ready to revolutionize your world. The answer is in the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock your horse's health information. From driving to Grand Prix jumping, all horses, all breeds, and all disciplines. The future is in the integrity and transparency of all horse sports and in the safety of our horses. The future is here, and the future is lip chip.
The team of professionals at Equifirst of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifirst of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifirst of Florida on Facebook now. Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and we are going to talk about complete care for donkeys. They're your favourite patients, Dr. Cayot. Tell me the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our friendly little donkeys, like the ones behind us here.
Yes.
I think you can see them. Yeah.
She joined in.
So donkeys are pretty easy. They're pretty easy. They're meant to live on, I always say they're meant to live on tumbleweed and cactus. And so the hardest thing that people have to deal with donkeys is keeping them from getting too fat. Yeah. Maybe one. The other one's not too bad. But that's the hardest problem because they really, they're super easy keepers. And here in Florida, they have all the grass that they can eat typically, and they tend to get fat. And then when they get fat, they tend to founder. And so that ends up being a problem. But they are, they're otherwise you do just what you would do with any other horse, annual vaccines or biannual vaccines, regular health checks. If they're traveling, they need a Coggins, any of those things. So
I was going to ask you that about a Coggins for donkeys. So they are supposed to have one, just like a horse, for swamp fever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
EIA, or swamp fever.
Exactly.
You don't hear it called swamp fever much anymore.
No. Obviously, other than that, you just have their teeth done, feet care, it's kind of the same thing. But the main thing is try to keep them from getting overweight.
Getting fat.
Yeah, getting fat.
Yeah. So pretty much the same protocols as we do for horses here. Yeah. Vaccines a couple times a year, Coggins once a year, fecal checks, that kind of thing. Yep. Keep up on teeth and feet and watch the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important one, so they don't turn into big fatties. Do you see a lot of founder cases with donkeys? Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Froto, did you hear that? Photo, the frat one, we call him. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And you did have a recent case of a donkey with strangles too, so just something to be mindful of. If your people I've noticed lately have a lot of donkeys, and so if you're buying them, like you said, from an auction or something, keep them separate from your horses and your other animals until they've been with you for a few weeks. Very good.
Absolutely.
Donkey care. Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Donkeys, and guess whose donkeys those were? Those were my donkeys, and that was Sean McCarthy, who's going to be on the show later, when Mary was getting her dental. I think that might have been Mary's first dental. So anyway, we're very excited to have Jodie Moore here with us. Jodie is a very good friend of mine. I have ridden with Jodie. Jodie has been in parades that we have had at various different places. She has an amazing horse, Sunny, who is just gorgeous. And we're going to talk a little bit later on in another segment about competitive trail. Oh, look, there's Sunny. Look at Sunny, that. Sunny is beautiful. But the first thing we want to talk about is what's on my head.
What is on your head?
What's on my head is an absolutely beautiful hat that Jodie made for me. And I have bought...
so they can see that.
Yeah, so you can see how beautiful. And actually, I have bought things from Jodie that she has created. I have bought a lamp for Betsy that was absolutely beautiful. It's in her living room. I have bought... well, we call it, laughingly, we joke, we call it a bullet hole cover, because Betsy has a bullet hole in her counter.
You weren't supposed to say
Sorry,
that.
and so the Lazy Susan is over it, and it's a gorgeous hand-painted Lazy Susan. But in Jodie's house, she has lots of beautiful things she's made. But we're going to focus a little bit right now on the hats, because we have multiple hats here behind me that we're going to look at. And of course, this one sitting right here is beautiful. Tell us what got you started in the hats.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm very ADD, so I was tired of doing one thing, so I thought, oh, I'll paint hats.
I'll paint hats.
I'll paint hats.
And the work that...
They're wood burned, and then some of them are painted as well. And then I lace the brims, and each one has a custom hat band. And these are quite a few other hat bands that I have that can go on anything and everything. That one you got to tip up.
Yes, this one you have to see, because it has, so if you're on the radio, you're missing out. Sorry. I hate to say that, but these are beautiful, beautiful hand-painted hats, and they're gorgeous. And if you're not seeing them, then go to Facebook or Equus Television so you can, because you need to see these. But this one has got a gorgeous grey painted on the brim. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean,
I wanted to do something monochromatic.
And that is really incredible, isn't it? I mean, you really have a lot of talent. This is something you just suddenly decided to do.
Yeah, and I've got 2 more boxes of hats that just came in, so I'll be doing a lot more.
You'll be doing a lot more. Well, they make wonderful gifts. You can certainly buy one for yourself as well. You don't have to buy them for somebody else.
No.
You can and are you marketing this? Are you putting these? You're putting these on social media, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am, and I've got 2 or 3 sold that I'll be taking to the Chateau ride with me in September, as well as stools and lamps. And
that's right, you do stools as well. Your stools are gorgeous. And the lamp, we actually have the lamp. Pete's going to grab the lamp for us. We have one of these, and this one's actually got Sunny on it.
Everything got wiggled on.
It got wiggled, yes. But you actually can see, if you're watching on the television or on or on social media, you actually can see this lamp. But it's absolutely beautiful, hand painted, and you're really
they're
talented.
all retro redos. My
Amazing.
stools, my lamps, nothing is new. I buy them wherever I can, sitting on the side of the yard, somebody throwing it out, whatever. I take it home and redo it and make it have a new life.
That's incredible.
And then you got these hat bands.
Yes,
Yep.
these are beautiful as well, all handmade. Jodie, you make all of this. About how long, let's just take this hat right here, about how long would it take you to make that?
To paint it, I spend more time watching the paint dry than putting it on there.
Do you?
Yes, yeah. So it goes pretty quick for me because I'm familiar with it. The gray horse took a little longer.
And you could do a custom hat if somebody told you what colors they wanted and liked, and you can put feathers and you can add.
Yours was kind of custom.
Yes, it definitely was, because I told her my colors, and these are definitely my colors, and I love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
It looks so good on you.
Thank you. And how can people find you if they want to order a hat?
They can go on Facebook, Jodie Moore. I have a bunch of stuff, and I have cards with me, but I don't know how we can put them out there, but they can text me or message me and just say you saw it on the horse show. And
Jodie, and it's Jodie, as you can see on the
yeah.
screen. If you're watching, you can see that, and you can find her. And Moore is Moore.
Yes.
So you can find her on social media if you'd like to get one, and she can make these any colors to suit you.
The Charlie horses are the ones I've been doing the most of, but you can buy a hat and bring it to me, and I can put it on your own hat. If you've got a felt, we can draw something on it. The darker felt hats don't show up as well. They just, because when they burn, it just gets darker. So
That makes sense. It's amazing. It's incredible. Well, I love mine. Thank you. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to wear it a lot.
Good. Good.
So in your photos on Facebook, I found a photo that you might not really want me to.
I don't care.
No, you don't care. But anyway, you're little, and
I think I might have been between 2 and 3. But
you don't look a whole lot different, except you got clothes on. You've hardly aged.
Yeah, and I usually only wear one gun now. I don't.
You only wear one gun.
Two, right?
Yes, I love that, and that is a great way actually to wrap up this segment and come back and hear more about Jodie's riding career and competitive trail and the 100-mile ride. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors, DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires. I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric. Equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure that you can achieve your vision for a beautiful, safe, and functional horse facility. From new construction to rewiring and updating, the Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a small farm of our own, we truly understand the unique concerns of the horse owner. Don't take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Branneman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and we have equine artist and friend Jodie Moore in the studio with us. We've been talking a little bit about her amazing hats, and I am so in love with mine. By the way,
I want to talk more about her grandfather and the cattle drive, and
tell us what you told us on the break.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, my grandfather was a cowboy, and he drove cattle from Texas through Oklahoma to Kansas, and on the way he met my grandmother, who was 17, and she was engaged to Bat Masterson's youngest son, and 3 hours after she met my grandfather, she caused the biggest scandal they'd ever had because she broke her engagement.
Whoa.
And he went on the cattle drive, and there's something else that's cool about this too. When he got to Kansas, he didn't come right back. They took a little side trip, and they ended up in Idaho. And he sent her a postcard. I have that postcard at home, too. And it says, when we get married, we're going to move to Idaho and raise Palouse horses.
That's because they wanted Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Well, so that's how long Appaloosas have been in my life, since before
So you were like a year old when you got on your first horse. So this was in your family to just be a cowgirl.
Yep.
You were born into the family.
I was.
And then you said you had a picture of your grandfather with somebody else?
With Will Rogers.
Wow.
Next time she's on the show.
2 of his books that he autographed personally to my grandfather.
That's incredible. Yeah. Wonderful stories, aren't they? Wonderful
that's
stories.
That's just amazing that you can talk about people that you hear back in the Old West, and you knew your grandfather that was there.
That's incredible.
My great uncle Sam, my grandmother's brother that introduced her to my grandfather, was one of the first people to go up Pikes Peak on a motorcycle, and he drove at the Calgary Stampede a 40-mule team.
Wow!
For several years.
Really?
And Bishop Mule Days is named after
my
Uncle Sam, my great Uncle Sam.
Wow.
And I've never been out west. And that,
what?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you have to go.
I've been to Idaho. I have been to Idaho, but I haven't.
You haven't?
Haven't done what I would like to do.
Oh, you must.
I know.
You
it's
really
on the
must.
bucket list.
It's on the bucket list. So meanwhile...
Sunny came from Idaho, but so that counts.
That counts, yeah. So your competitive trail. Tell us about competitive trail riding.
Okay, there are people, when they hear distance riding or they hear competitive trail, they think, okay, it's going to be the race. That's an endurance race. Competitive trail is a judged event. And you have 3 judges, a trail judge, a vet judge, and a special awards judge. And it's a wonderful, wonderful way to learn the sport because your horse develops a brain. They don't just get race brain and be unmanageable. They're judged on their manners. Oh, that one made the Appaloosa Journal.
Lovely.
But it's entirely different from endurance, and a lot of people would use it as a precursor for their endurance, as a training ride.
For endurance racing,
But the Florida 100, it's the longest consecutive running 3-day competitive trail ride in the country.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Virginia has had one more ride, but then they had 2 years they didn't do it. So they aren't it has run 75. It'll be 75 years next year.
So you do 100 miles in 3 days.
It used to be 40, 40, 20. We've got a bunch of wimps now. So they changed it to 40, 35, 25. And it used to be held in March, and they all complain it's too hot. So now they hold it in January or February. So yeah, it's changed a lot. It's not near as hard as it was when it first started out. Because,
it was a lot tougher.
Oh my gosh, 51 was the first year. And I sent you that video.
Yes,
from
we have that video.
1959.
We have that video, actually.
And it's really cool. And a lot of the people in that video are some of the ladies that helped me get started. Because in 75, you didn't have any way to, you didn't have phones, cell phones and all that, so everything was by letters. And that's how we did it.
Wow.
So, yep.
That's incredible.
And some of these people, Edith Whiting, she's in here and shows a picture for a trailer. She won the first 100 in 1951, and she was 15 years old.
Wow. 15 years old?
Mm-hmm. And she rode an Arab. Everyone else had quarter horses.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah, those Arabs are amazing for endurance, so I'm sure for...
I'll tell you something. Almost every breed has got a horse that can do it. But not every horse in every breed can do it. And I've ridden my Appaloosas, and Blue was the winningest Appaloosa in the southeastern United States in the mid-2000s.
Wow.
So, yeah, she was pretty amazing. And Sunny's going to get there, and that's the Blue.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl. She was beautiful. I lost her in 2019.
Oh.
Yeah, she was 29 and a half.
What year is this picture?
That's 2014, I think.
Very beautiful, right? What a beautiful, beautiful photograph. That's a magazine.
And almost all my pictures, you'll see the hat.
That hat.
Yeah,
beautiful
that hat.
horse.
And that's the Blue. And she was 28 in that picture.
Wow. So you're still doing the 100?
I'm going to do it this next year on Sunny. Because I did my first one was the 25th anniversary. My second big one was, I rode Blue on 7, but we did the 50th anniversary, so I want to do the 75th anniversary on my third once-in-a-lifetime horse.
Wow.
So that's my goal.
So you're training for that now?
Yes. I started her a few months ago.
Yeah.
So how do you train for that?
You need a minimum of 400 training miles for a 25. And so add that up to what you need for 100. You can go 4 to 6 times the distance on it. So, but 100 miles won't do a 25-mile. You've got to have more.
Wow.
And
so you've got to ride and ride and ride.
You ride a lot. The longest, even for the 100, the longest ride you should do is about a 30-mile ride. Because you want them to keep coming up and up and up. You don't want them to peak too early.
Wow.
And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of dedication, but it's a lot of fun.
So you do 100 miles in 3 days. How sore are you after that?
The first year I went, I thought I was going to die after the first day. And I was a kid, you know. But after the second day, I was rejuvenated because you only had 20 more miles to go. You know, that kind of gives you hope. But there were 67 horses that started on my first ride and 37 finished.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
About half.
Yes, and now, unfortunately, it's died off a lot, the 100. People have all these other rides to choose from. It was the only ride in Florida for over 40 years. So if it's the only one, everybody always had a waiting list to get in. And it was pretty cool.
Pretty exciting. And how long since you've done it?
When did my last 100 was probably 2012, 13, something like that.
Wow, so you're making a comeback.
I was doing shorter rides, but when Blue hit probably close to 20, I decided, okay,
yeah,
we're going to slow it down. She wasn't happy. She never wanted to slow it down.
She wanted to keep going, yes.
And then I judged the 100 one year. So, that was 2006, that one. I judged it from horseback on her.
Really?
And I rode over 40 miles in the 3 days just to get to where I had to get before the riders to judge. And she just would stand there and never say a word, watch them go by. Half the time the horses were spooking because she blended into the background. So
that's so amazing, isn't
fun.
it?
It's great.
It's so exciting.
We need more people to suck it up.
Yes.
And go to CEDRA, Southeastern Distance Riders Association. .com, I think it is, and they will give you all the information
to get signed up and start training now.
Yep, and they have all the list of the shorter rides too.
It's amazing. Jodie, that was the sound that means we have to go to break, but wow, it's been amazing having you on the show. The stories are phenomenal, hats are phenomenal. Get a hat from Jodie and check out that ride because that's pretty awesome. We're coming right back on the Horse Talk Show for the second half, so stay with us.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Hey there, horsemen. Are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? LipChip is ready to revolutionize your barn. Built by horsemen, for horsemen. LipChip knows how you ride. If you're tired of carrying around paperwork, dealing with long trailer lines, and juggling all your horse's details while trying to compete, then the answer is the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Each scan reveals everything you need to work, compete, and to protect your horses. View current health paperwork, pre-register for your next event, and even check in on your horse's health. Horsemen, let's keep our horses safe and make our lives at the barn a little easier. The future is here, and the future is LipChip. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centres for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specialising in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that could talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now, here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Roda from Complementary Horsemanship, and we have a special guest in the studio. You saw a little sneak glimpse of him last week as he gave a very important equine dentistry tip. We have Sean McCarthy from McCarthy Equine Dentistry. Sean, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
And we have a
friend of yours.
Yes.
A skull.
So we could talk about teeth.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little background about you. We're going to be kind of introducing you to our community more, and we're going to have some segments coming up with you. But tell us a little bit about you. How did you get into equine dentistry, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing this professionally 13 years, and I was a paramedic for a number of years before that. And
different line of work.
Different line of work, but the horses give me a nice therapy. Animals are a therapy, and
they are.
I'd had enough of.
I was going to say, being a paramedic probably doesn't give you a lot of therapy. It probably gives you a lot of stress, right?
So now,
high emergency type job.
Absolutely.
Very stressful, yes.
So every day is therapy, and I get to help different animals, and all the way from your little donkeys up to draft horses, and make them feel better.
So tell us a little bit about teeth.
People think a horse's teeth grow throughout their life. They don't actually grow, they erupt. By age 7, these teeth
turn that a little bit that way if you want.
That long. Then they erupt throughout their life. So they're constantly erupting and wearing, causing the sharp points along the cheek, on the top arcades, and along the tongue on the bottom. They also can get ramps and hooks, which can restrict the jaw's movement, where you have your horses doing these 100-mile rides, and they eat on as you go, don't they?
Yes.
So their jaw they need to be comfortable, and a lot of horses, you'll have them tossing their head and just not happy in the bridle.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're putting a bit in a horse's mouth, it's extremely important they're comfortable.
Absolutely. We like to start young horses. We do full checks, weanling checks. I don't like to do work on young horses until they're ready to go to training, because young horses are growing very quickly. Their teeth are changing, so you want to set them up for success and have their teeth done right before they're in training, unless they're having issues prior to that. But,
so if they don't have any concerns as a young horse, like a weanling kind of age or even a yearling, you wouldn't necessarily do anything until you were going to start using them, unless you saw a problem like dropping feed or a sore tooth or infected tooth or something like that.
Yes. Young horses, their teeth erupt, and they also shed their teeth. So they'll shed from 2.5, 3.5, and then 4. So 5, these canines will start to erupt. So through the first 5-6 years of their life, their mouth is changing a whole lot. So they're losing baby teeth incisors, baby teeth molars. Now, you want your horses to be comfortable, especially here. You have a lot of young horses that are showing, going into training. They have a retained cap and a molar that they're just uncomfortable. So just a good exam and just having your horses checked.
Right. So when I was going through learning how to be a farrier so that I could help horses in training, he used to say it takes a team to build a horse.
Absolutely.
And I can't tell you how many times I've had a horse that won't turn a certain way, and it's because of a retained cap. And what you're saying is so important to get your teeth checked.
Absolutely. It does take a village.
Yes, sir.
Between the farriers, the dentists, the vets, the poor vets have to be the master of everything, just have to do everything. And there's so many different specialties now that, they can pass some of it off to people that...
Yes.
So what would you say is one of the most important things, if you would give one piece of advice to our community, what would it be about dentistry?
Have your horses checked, donkeys, miniature horses checked yearly. And your provider, who you choose, generally won't do unnecessary work. Does every horse, every donkey need work every year? In my opinion, no. But they should be checked every year.
Yes, very important to look. And perhaps if a horse is even older, you might, and is losing teeth, missing teeth, you might check more often. But certainly with the average age horses, that annual checkup is so important.
Absolutely. Now, there's all ends of the spectrum. I have our athlete partners that are very upper level. They get checked every 3 months.
Right.
Because their riders can tell when they're uncomfortable with one little jagged edge.
Can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yes. In fact, I remember years back I rescued an older horse that was in really bad shape. He was terribly, terribly thin, and I bought him just to save him and fattened him up and got him healthy and got him checked by the vet. And when I finally got him to where he was, took me several weeks to get him healthy. But once he was kind of healthy enough to withstand even having his mouth open, I had a dentist come out and have a look, and he actually had an infected tooth in the side of his mouth that had grown into his cheek. And it wouldn't come, it was terrible to get out. It took hours to get it out. It was so awful and infected. And the poor guy, and it was probably one of the reasons he was so skinny. And so it just lets you know that, if, especially not so much in the show world, but if you buy a pasture pet or a companion horse or an older horse, or you get a rescue horse in, it's so important that you make sure the chances are if the horse was in some kind of trouble at some point, it may not have been looked after and taken care of. So those are things to look for. Skinny horses that are dropping feed, especially if you're rescuing. And, most of our rescue organizations are wonderful about checking all of those things. But if you end up with a pasture pet that you rescue, just make sure that's something you really look for, because it can be a very serious problem for a horse.
Pre-purchases have a dental exam done, even if it's cursory with the veterinarian. If you purchase a horse and the people tell you, we just had his teeth done, I would suggest still having a dentist look at them, because they may need further work.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Sean, I am absolutely thrilled that we've got to know you, meet you. Thank you so much for taking care of my donkeys. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of Sean on the show as we cover different equine dentistry topics and tips over the coming weeks. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We're coming back with Dr. Nathalie Solomon. Stay with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, EquiGreene, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The team of professionals at Equifirst of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifirst of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifirst of Florida on Facebook now.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Nathalie Solomon. I formulated EquiGreene with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how EquiGreene came to life. EquiGreene, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here, wearing my Jodie Moore hat with Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and a very dear friend and a partner here with our show is Dr. Nathalie Solomon. And Nathalie, we have not had you on the show long enough. It's been too long. It's
Happy
been a long
to be
time.
here.
Yes. You know you're busy.
Yes, definitely.
So me and my animals are extremely grateful for your absolutely outstanding products. Your CBD is without a doubt. And I will say, I'm not going to mention any names at all, but I have tried multiple CBD products in my life with people telling me, oh, it's going to do this, going to do that. And I never had any results. And that's no offense to anybody. When I met Nathalie, I was a little bit skeptical because I had never seen any results with CBD, and I kind of was like, okay, well, yeah, I'll try it. Well, I have a dog who couldn't survive without it. I have a pony that couldn't survive without it. And I am now using, I just dabbed this on Pete, by the way, so if he's glowing, it's because I just dabbed his face with.
Wow, it feels so nice.
Yes, and this is ageless. I need your glasses to read this.
Yes, so it's the ageless care cream. So
Yes.
It's anti-aging and moisturizing. It has 100 milligrams of CBD. We also compound it with orange stem cells to help reverse aging.
I was going to ask you about the orange because I saw it said with orange on it.
Yep, and it has the orange gives it a nice like uplifting feel to it. So it makes you kind of wake up in the morning after you apply it. It really tightens the skin too.
You can actually feel that when you, do you feel
It
that
tightens your skin.
since I've dabbed it on your face? Does it feel like it's...
I feel it.
Do you feel it?
You dabbed it on my face.
I did. I dabbed it on his face. He actually just got the lecture for not wearing sunscreen.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, but we did dab some CBD on him, and it feels nice, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, so
nice.
I'm using this night and morning. I love it. I think it's absolutely incredible. But you're right, it does give you a tightening kind of a feel. What does CBD do for skin?
So as we get older, we go through our aging process, and we start producing less collagen. We get exposure to the sun, and a lot of oxidative stress goes on our skin. Our skin is the largest organ in our body, so we often forget how important skincare is. And it's really important starting in your 20s, and if you haven't done so by your 30s, you need to have a proper skin program. And CBD plays a vital role because we have something called the endocannabinoid system, and there are receptors on our skin that can bind. This is for the horse, but
just for the horse,
sure that's a person. But, it's everywhere. It's throughout the whole body, and the CBD will bind to that, and will start unlocking all of these regulatory systems that we have in our body to maintain homeostasis. So if you have oily skin, it's going to help reverse that, bring that oil control down. If you have dry skin, it's going to help retain moisture in your skin, help kind of balance that back out. If you have inflammation, blemishes, adult onset acne, any kind of issue where your skin is red or irritated, you're going to help remove that inflammation as well. So it does give you a nice dewy look. I know a lot of women
look dewy,
love that.
by the
yes. And it works really well under sunscreen. You can place it on or mix it with your sunscreen. It's totally safe to use. Or
That's awesome.
Put your makeup right over it. And I've been using it for about 3 years, and I love how it makes my skin feel. I love the fact that as I get older, I feel like my skin is not aging as much, and I'm in the sun a lot.
Right,
So,
most
and,
people are.
we all, and
It's a
it's not
thing.
just your face. You got to apply it to your neck, the tops of your hands. Those are the 3 biggest areas that we forget, that we need to take care of. And CBD is just, a very nice, holistic way to accomplish all that without putting any chemicals or harsh chemicals on your skin.
And I want to just emphasize that these products are made in Ocala, in a licensed lab, on Dr. Nathalie Solomon's farm, all independently tested, every batch is. And how nice to have something. And, I'm not saying that other products are made in places that might be questionable, but where are they made? And do you know where they're made? And do you know what might fall in with them? And do you know if they're tested?
And what I'm impressed with is Nathalie's knowledge about this. So Nathalie, tell us your background, because some people might not know what you do
Yes.
the rest of the time of the day.
Absolutely. So I'm a pharmacist by trade. I've been in a pharmacy my whole life. I've worked as a pharmacist or a pharmacy tech. As soon as I turned 16, I got licensed to be a tech. I got mentored by 4 different pharmacists that all went to the University of Florida, and they really promoted the career. So I pursued it. I went to University of Florida from 2009 to 2013. I've worked in retail pharmacy for over 10 years. And in 2019, I started this venture just from having some personal anxiety of my own, and started trying products and got really interested in the industry. Went to a college in Orlando called Learn Sativa, enrolled in there, and really got familiar with the business and all aspects of it. So, it's just one thing after another. I just love it. The more I learn about it, the more I'm consumed by the industry. I really can't tell you how rewarding it is to see someone really, how it changes people's lives, and not just people, horses, dogs, pets. The joy I get from seeing them, be successful with these products
it's a miracle.
It's the biggest pleasure.
So tell us about
It's a miracle.
this product.
I'm actually
yes.
going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Just to say that my dog Aslan, who is white, used to scratch himself to death non-stop. He did not have fleas. He didn't have a single flea on him. He was white. There were no fleas. He used to scratch himself to death until he was red and sore. I tried everything. I tried shots, I tried pills, I tried everything. He would not stop itching. I had him on Nathalie's CBD for 24 hours, and the red was already going away. Within 48 hours, he didn't scratch, and he hasn't scratched again since, and he has been on her CBD ever since. He also had a leg injury, and it has helped him to stay comfortable through that leg injury. Mm-hmm. And then I also have to say my pony who had laminitis, who Clayton at Florida Farrier Services done such an amazing job getting sound, and he has been on it since a week after, I think, maybe less than that, maybe a few days after he came back from Equine Performance Center, and he hasn't had one dose, not even one dose of Banamine since he's been on your product. So really incredible, and amazed by, I don't know how my animals could be without it. So I had to just say that, because that's really a huge testimonial for me.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing that. People are starting to find out what CBD can do for your horse. I get more and more calls every day, and people are getting more interested because you don't need to worry about the long-term effects, that these medications that we give, especially anti-inflammatories, they really destroy the gut and the kidney. And, this is going to do just as good as a job, if not better, and really preserve all the organs and the longevity of your horse. It's something we always look for, the wow and the now factor, but, you really got to think long-term. What is this, if I give this horse, this type of medication, what are going to be the effects down the line? Because we may not see that right now, but it can affect them down the line. So, but this is the level 1. They come in different types of levels. The higher the level, the higher the dose. This is what Frosty's on. It's fed 1 ounce a day, and it goes right on their feed. Very easy to use, very palatable, picky eater approved.
Yes, for sure.
So,
it is.
Yeah, I get more calls that they won't eat without it now.
I know.
So
it's true. My dog
eat it.
gobbles it up. Nathalie, hold that thought. We're going to go to break. I'm going to keep you with us, if you don't mind, for the last segment, because I want people to know how to find you. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, EquiGreene, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the last segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship, and we'll be going to his tip in a minute. But first of all, I just want to say, and we're going to keep Nathalie with us here, that these products are amazing. So whether you want to take care of your skin and you want to pat this on your face and neck, like Pete's wearing it right now and loving it, it's amazing. Whether you have a horse that needs some support, some pain management to be comfortable, whether you have a dog or a cat that has needs, Nathalie is amazing. And EquiGreene, the Greene Pharmacist, is phenomenal. I absolutely, personally can endorse all of these products. I've tried them all and I'm so impressed and love the fact that it is made right here in Ocala by you. It's a lot of work. Well done. But before we wrap up CBD, we want to know how to find you so that people can find you.
Absolutely. All the products are available online. It's thegreenepharmacist.com. There's an E at the end of Greene. Also on Facebook, Instagram, and we have a Facebook page that does really well. We also have a Facebook group called CBD for Horses. I encourage you to join that. There's a lot of information that goes on there, not just about my products, but also just about the industry and CBD for horses in general. But yeah, thegreenepharmacist.com. You can view all of the products there. We're also sold in OBS, Seminole, TT Distributors, Green Gates, and Country Lane and Tack in Bellevue. So we have multiple retailers, and we also have the human products now in Farmhouse Chiropractic over at the World Equestrian Center.
Awesome. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Stay
Thank
there.
you.
We are going to do Pete's Tip of the Week.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship.
This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal.
Brought to you by Wildlife Works.
That's right. We're adding animals, so keep in touch and see which animals is the next one. So our tip of the week is evaluating where you are. So a lot of times this week I had students that were discouraged because we're now advancing my sequencing that I teach, and they got discouraged because I'm asking harder things for them to do, and they're doing really well compared to where they started. So I always say evaluate yourself first from where you started, and then evaluate where you are now, because that gives you two different scores. So when my one student was doing a circling pattern where we were flexing the horse as we circled, she was getting really discouraged, and I said, whoa, what would you score that from 1 to 10? And she said, a 4. And I said, from where you were, what would you score it? She goes, maybe a 5. And I said, I'd give it an 8. I said, that was pretty impressive. I said, you do realize what you are doing now is with one hand with the rope and the stick, where before you'd have a rope in one hand and a stick in the other and you couldn't do it. And she was moving the horse, and I said, now evaluate what it was today for this is brand new to you and brand new to him. And she was like, oh, well, I would give it a 6 or a 7. I said, now we're thinking. So always think back where you started, you've advanced. But now that I'm asking harder questions,
and that can work in your personal life as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you make sure you tell me that all the time. You remind me that I'm now at like an 8 or a 9, and I was at, right?
A 6
yes.
or 7.
Yes. So you just remember that, right?
That's right.
Just remember. And do you want to see Pete dancing at vocal? I know you do. Yeah, he was getting down. Lewis Stokes, I think, was into music, and Pete was. This was at the vocal gala.
Oh my gosh.
Pearls and pearls. Paws and pearls. Yeah, he was. He's a piece of work, but you gotta love it. I was there at the right time. What can I say? I think I don't have my hacks to relax this week. I might need to get somebody to pass me my hacks to relax. I think they're over by Isaac. But let's mention. Look at that. Isaac, you got it. So we got to do number 5. And this is from Charlotte Cannon. Relax, release, rewire, and win. Number 5 is relax your tongue down the roof of your mouth. Oh, I don't know. When I go to the dentist, I can't even do what they say. I can't do it.
We gotta get a tongue depressor.
Yeah, there you go. So that's your hacks to relax. We're doing hacks to relax. We're doing one every week. You can follow Charlotte Cannon and find out more information about her. She is incredible, amazing. We're going to remind you about the Ocala Dog Ranch event coming up, which is your neighbor. Yes, that's right. Spring Trifecta, Saturday, March 9th and Sunday, March the 10th.
Duck diving.
Duck diving. Duck diving.
Duck diving.
You really need to
Duck
get your eyes
Duck diving. Duck diving.
Barn hunt. No, I say duck diving because that's what she said the first time.
Oh, okay.
No, I said dog diving.
No, you said,
I said
duck.
dog. I said
Don't
dog.
make fun of her.
No.
accents.
Barn hunt for the disc games.
Yes, all the dog fun they have. And if you're a horse person, you've probably got a dog. There is a lot of dog fun that goes on at Ocala Dog Ranch, isn't there?
Yes.
It's amazing.
I hear it all the time going on.
You do. You hear it. Yes. OcalaDogRanch.com. And we have a few more mentions, and one of them is for Pat and Sarah Myers. We got to say, hats off to them for the wonderful job they do, celebrating 10 years of excellence. Pat Myers Electric. Yes. I love that. They must have started around the same time the Horse Talk Show started. It was kind of a plan.
Wow.
So that's amazing. But Pat will come around to your barn, walk through, no obligation. He will walk through and tell you anything he sees that could possibly cause a barn fire, that could be a risk to your horses. And he is happy to do that for you. And
no judgment on that. He
Yes.
always says, look, I'm just trying to help and make sure you don't have something that may cause you some heartache.
Yes, that could be could endanger you, your horses, and nobody wants to be in a situation with horses in a barn and a fire.
Honest people. That's what I always say is I love hiring honest people to do those work.
Yes, and
I do an honest business when I do my horse training. I expect that in everywhere I go. Some people do it, some people don't.
Yes,
but you
that's
can
true.
guarantee you Pat Myers Electric will give you an honest answer.
Yes, and they're big supporters of everything that we do with the Equine Initiative through the CEP.
And
big
we got
supporters of
invited
Vocal.
to their table
Yeah.
at Vocal.
Yes, that was a lovely experience, and they are wonderful people. They have a farm themselves, and absolutely would be happy to come out and take a look if you have any concerns at all about that. So I just want to thank Dr. Nathalie Solomon very much for being with us. You should be here more often.
Absolutely.
You're an equestrian yourself.
Yes. Not so much lately, but I'm trying. Yes.
You have your own farm and your own horses and you ride.
Yes, I try to, and as time allows, of course. And here lately, I've been golfing a little bit. So
You've been golfing?
Yes.
This is a new thing I didn't know about.
Yes, and I love it. It's great. It's a great, detachment from life, I find. So
yeah, it takes you away from it all.
Yeah, a lot of horse people like golfing. It's a lot of similarities.
Are you getting good at it?
I wouldn't say that.
Maybe I should come and try it with you.
She's having fun.
Yeah.
Evaluate where you were and where you are now.
Yes. That's right. I think I might try that with you.
Yeah.
We have to wrap up. What a great show. Fantastic guests. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world or not, happy horsing around. Till the same time.
See you next time.